Hi, my name is Martino, and I've been doing photography now since about March of 1998. Mainly what I do is what's known as street photography. That is, I'm out in the streets, mostly in Boston, New York as well, and trying to take photographs capturing the spontaneous moment, 35mm small format, black and white. I got interested in what's called street photography when I took a course actually at the Cambridge Center for Adult Education, and it was a course called Street Photography. My teacher was a man named Randall Warnier.
Well, my name is Monika Bruzkova, and I am originally from Czech Republic. I came here about 9 years ago. And I started photographing actually already in my homeland, and who got me into the photography was my father, who actually was documenting with his camera back in 70s all the family basically goings, and was setting up his darkroom in the bathroom. And the way how it is when you don't have the resources, and developing his photographs there. And I used to sit with him when I was really little, 7, 8, and wash the prints in a bucket. And that's basically the fascination with how the photographs appears on a piece of photographic paper when you're developing it. It stayed with me, and then I borrowed his camera from time to time, and then eventually I got into my own photography. Basically, my work back then was very crude. It was black and white pictures, and I was just focusing on things around my village. I lived in this little village in southern Bohemia, and so I photographed the fences around, the landscapes, the telephone poles, just to capture the feeling which I had from my home place. Eventually, I moved to the capital, to Prague, and I started photographing things there, which was, of course, totally different environment, urban environment. And after that, eventually, when I came here and when I started traveling a little bit, I started focusing more on travel/documentary photography. I can't quite categorize it, but I would say, yes, it's documentary photography, which I'm trying to infuse with a little bit of art.
I started doing the black and white street photography in about 1998. My earliest, when I was first going out and shooting, I was following some of the ideas by photographers like Andre Cortez or Cartier-Bresson, just trying to capture these kind of spontaneous moments that seem to be happening all around. I think some of my earliest work, though, seemed to focus on individual people that I would come and meet in the streets, or I think over time, though, I started to develop more of a sense, have more of a sense for the whole event. What I'm interested in as a photographer is when you take a picture of something that is more or less fleeting and will soon be gone, and you make it permanent, you're able then to look at it and to ruminate about it and to think about it. And I think it's then that that the moment is able to speak to us. And a lot of my images, I'm just out shooting. I'm very interested in pop culture, and a number of the images you'll notice deal with some of the details in the pictures have elements from our culture, whether it's a poster of a model like Giselle, meet Giselle is one of the photographs there, or flags, American flags, or any kind of billboards or image icons. There's one of the images deals with a statue of Christ in someone's front yard, and I'm interested in the different juxtapositions that I'm able to capture in the frame. I'm always interested in finding ways to exhibit my work or display my work. The last couple of years I've been sending my images out for publication, and I've had some success. Some of my images actually can be found in a couple of journals that are out there. They're literary art journals, New Orleans Review, and another journal out of Arizona State University called Hayden's Ferry Review, which you could probably find copies of these online. And coming out in September in a journal called Kestrel, which comes out of West Virginia, I'll have some images in there as well. I do have a website that people can go to see some of examples of my work, and that is at www.fisher.edu/Martino.
Okay, so what's next for me are two exhibits which I have planned. One is for September, and it is in the last 2 weeks of September, from 16th to 30th, I believe. That's the end of the month. It is in Davis Square in Somerville, and it's in Starbucks Coffee. They have an exhibition wall there. And basically it will be a second part of the Peru exhibit, of which the first part was downtown in April. Then right after that, in October and stretching into November, from October 6th to November 11th, I will have the whole Peru complete exhibition on view here in Brookline Art Center. And if someone is interested in reaching me, in maybe seeing some other work I have done, I'm of course happy. And you can either email at an address which I set up for these Peru exhibits, which is called perustarbucks@yahoo.com. It's one word, Peru Starbucks.